Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tess. I am a licensed esthetician and it is about 11:30 on a Saturday morning. So I figured it was the perfect time to show you guys a little updated morning routine, and not just any routine, but a weekend routine, which typically for me is way more relaxed, way more chill, and I can finally use the products I've been too busy to use throughout the week. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Come relax with me and watch my professional skincare routine. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into it. It's not a Saturday morning without a little espresso. And of course, I have my smoothie. I just did a little weightlifting workout outside, so gotta have my smoothie. I'm gonna pray for no seeds in my teeth. This is frozen strawberries, spinach, and a little bit of vanilla protein and ice. So, confession, I did wash my face in the shower, and come winter time, I find myself reaching for a cream cleanser more often than a gel because my skin can be a little bit more prone to dryness. So I find using a non-foaming cleanser in the morning works really well for me. I went with the Is Clinical Cream Cleanser, although I'm always alternating between this guy and my fave Glymed Plus Mega Purifying Cleanser. This is the professional back bar size. Today, like I said, I want to do a little bit of pampering. So we've washed our face, and now I'm going in with the Is Clinical Warming Honey Cleanser. This one is just as fun as it looks. I mean, it really does look like honey. Just like the name says, this cleanser does warm with a little bit of movement on the skin, so it is really such a treat to use. This is definitely a client favorite, and if somebody's looking for some pampering, relaxation, self-care, this is one of my favorite products to recommend. I like to warm it up in my hand a little bit, and this is also a great option for people who struggle with exfoliation, which is more people than you might realize, but because it is a gentle enzymatic cleanser, it's going to work a little bit different than something like a glycolic acid. Instead of going in the pore and dissolving congestion, it's going to work with the enzymes to kind of munch away at any dead cells. So you won't feel too much sensation with it. It's very gentle and very healing. It contains raw honey, propolis, and green tea extract. So it's very soothing and just a dream to use. I like to leave this cleanser on like a little bit of an enzyme mask. It works beautifully in the shower or with steam. If you use this in a facial, pretty much I can guarantee somebody is going to ask what you used and is going to want to purchase it. So it's a really easy sell in the treatment room. But for my purposes, I'm just going to leave it on the skin for about 3 minutes and allow the enzymes to start chomping away. And in the meantime, I am going to go in with the Is Clinical Lip Polish and give my lips a little treatment at the same time. I think we can really neglect the lips. Maybe I should do a post on this or a video or something, but lip care is so underestimated, and it's something I wish I did earlier in life. I never wore sunscreen on my lips until probably the past 2 years, and I'm now in my 30s, and I am starting to notice some inevitable signs of aging. I have always been a straw drinker, so it could be from that, little tiny smoker's lines. So now I'm just more invested in my lips. It's a very delicate skin, so I do like to do weekly exfoliating treatments, and Is Clinical also makes a great lip serum that can fight the signs of aging. So I'm really into that at the moment, and protecting my lips at all costs before I go outside or when I'm driving in the car. So if you don't have a lip SPF, that is definitely something you must have. You guys may have noticed some little splotchy marks on my skin, which I think is important to show because, of course, social media, we don't always see these things, and let me tell you, everybody struggles. I just had a question on Instagram that is, do you still struggle with breakouts as a licensed esthetician? And my answer is, of course. If you are acne prone, it's a condition you will likely always need to manage. There's no cure for acne, so there's definitely no day when you get your license and you're just magically cured, because since I'm acne prone, I always will need to get ahead of the cycle of acne. I think this is important. A lot of people think of acne as something you want to treat reactively. So say you get a breakout and you want to treat it by applying a spot treatment. This is fine, but it's not necessarily the best system to proactively treat acne. Acne is starting in the follicle, and it is a buildup of sticky cells and a combination of P. acne bacteria. So to effectively manage that cycle, we need to clear out the follicle before that clogging and buildup and swelling in the follicle starts to happen. And I won't make this a whole acne spiel, but I just wanted to say, if you're prone to those sticky cells, you're prone to bacterial-based acne like myself, it's something I always have to combat and get ahead of. So yes, Estes break out too, and here's proof. I'm gonna go ahead and remove with a warm towel. This feels so good, oh my goodness. And sometimes I get questions about washcloths and towels. You know, I think a standard washcloth is going to be fine for most people a couple times a week. You just want to make sure you're not overdoing it. And if you can, the baby washcloths are a really good idea. You can find those on Amazon, and those are amazing. They're very gentle. You can see my skin getting pink, and that's not a bad sign. It just means I have reactive skin, very prone to flushing and redness, but sometimes this is misconstrued as sensitivity or a problem in the treatment room, and it's not necessarily. Something I also wanted to mention is I often treat certain areas of my face differently than others. So this T-zone and my forehead is where I'm prone to a lot of congestion, which is very normal. The T-zone can easily get clogged. So in this area, I don't mind being a little bit more aggressive with my exfoliation just to make sure that area is cleared of buildup. We're not overdoing it. We're not doing a ton of scrubbing, but I do target my T-zone with a little bit more aggressive exfoliation than the rest of my face. Okay, now for one of my favorite parts, the CBD V3 Facial Mist from Glymed Plus. By the way, I like to apply a mist pretty soon after removing product from my skin to limit the transepidermal water loss and just keep that moisture on the skin. That's what we want. This is a just cult favorite. This is like an esthetician's mist. If you haven't tried the CBD V3 Facial Mist, it is really special. I consider this more of a serum in a mist form than just a mist, because it's actually very effective at targeting hyperpigmentation. It's so hydrating. It has CBD, so it's great for balancing whether your skin is lacking oil or has excessive oil. It's a really nice balancing product, and it feels like heaven. So if you know, you know. Since I did do a fair amount of exfoliation, I used the enzyme and I used a washcloth, I'm gonna skip a cotton round today and just pat the mist into my skin which probably sounds basic, but sometimes clients ask me or they're confused about if they should use a cotton round or just pat it in, and neither is wrong. You can really use either method based on how you're feeling. If I'm feeling sensitized or I've already done exfoliation, I think a pat just works really nicely, and you also don't have to waste excess product that way too. Next is eye cream, and I am personally an eye cream fanatic. I know some people say they're not necessary, but I do believe eyes are the most delicate area of the face, and they deserve treatment and attention and love. So this eye cream has some awesome peptides. It's a great brightener. It's great for anti-aging. It's great for dark circles. So those tend to be the primary concerns people ask about in an eye cream. So it's a great multitasker, and you want to apply your eye cream above your brow bone, along the orbital bone, and on the eyelid. I just avoid the inner corners of the eye. You only need a grain of rice size amount, so this lasts forever. And little trick, any extra I like to dab on my crow's feet and even my lips. Next, I am going in with my vitamin C serum, and I have recently graduated to Super Serum by It's Clinical, which is an incredible vitamin C. Although I will say, little tip with vitamin C is to really work your way up with vitamin C's. I think we can underestimate it because people think it's just an antioxidant, it's just vitamin C, but vitamin C can be slightly exfoliating and it can be stimulating. So you want to choose the right one for your skin type. So I suggest working with a professional to find the right one for you. So sometimes I get asked what's the difference between Pro Heal from It's Clinical and Super Serum. Pro Heal is really designed for more dry to sensitive skin types. It's going to be very reparative, very restorative, and healing. Super Serum is a 15% L-ascorbic acid with copper peptides. So the focus is, I'd say, a little bit more intensive. It's going to target signs of aging and wrinkles, as well as acne scars. So once I get my clients' acne managed, I love to go in with Super Serum because it's like the icing on the cake. It's going to take care of that post-acne trauma or hyperpigmentation or scarring. So for me, my approach tends to be on resolving the acne first, so that's not proliferating and that cycle is not flourishing while we're trying to target signs of acne scars and brightening, if that makes sense. I like to take care of the inflammatory issue first and just get things more controlled, and then start to even things out and introduce the vitamin C. We are heading into fall and winter, so this is a time I might layer with my serums and my products a little bit more than I would in the summertime. I'm adding just a little bit of the CBD Microsilver Miracle by Glymed Plus. It really is a miracle, like the name says. I have used this on acne clients, I've used this on perioral dermatitis clients, eczema clients, rosacea clients. This is a very healing serum that has been compared to topical steroids, and the effects are pretty amazing. So think of your most sensitive client that just needs healing. A lot of times when I have acne clients come to me who have been using poor products for years, and it's just really obvious on their skin because you'll see that dryness and that top outer layer of surface dryness where oil can't get out. So I like to rehab the skin first in that case, and the CBD Microsilver Miracle is a great one in that situation, or if somebody's barrier is compromised or the skin is just kind of a mess, it's a really good one to start with just to get things functioning on a little bit of a healthier level. So I always have to include a little lip treatment in my morning or nighttime skincare routine, and I'm obsessed with this combo. It's gotten pretty popular in the SD community on social media, but I'm just obsessed with it. So first I take the Colorscience by Glymed, and you just want the smallest amount. If you do too much, your whole lip area is gonna get a little bit red and it'll go away, but you don't need very much. This contains peptides and vasodilators, so it's really going to plump up the lips while targeting signs of aging. And then over top, I apply the Glymed Plus Lip Balm, and your lips are just gonna feel so plump and minty and fresh. I'm just obsessed with this little duo. Okay, it's now been several minutes since applying my other skincare, so I'm gonna go in with SPF now. This is the Is Clinical Extreme Protect SPF. So pretty special sunscreen. This sunscreen is all physical. You can see it has a tint to it, and the tint is, I'd say, relatively full coverage. It's kind of like a true foundation as far as the coverage, but this is an incredibly protective SPF. So they did a study with this SPF where they actually looked at thiamine dimers. I don't know if everybody has heard of thiamine dimers, but they are essentially something that forms in the cells as our skin is exposed to free radical damage, which comes from UVA and UVB exposure. Essentially, this is damage occurring in our cells that leads to advanced aging, leads to cancer, all of these things we want to avoid. And this sunscreen showed complete protection from the thiamine dimers. And they know this because in the study, the thiamine dimers were actually stained with a pigment, so they could see under a microscope on a cellular level how this sunscreen was protecting not only from sun exposure, but protecting from the precancerous damage and these early signs of advanced aging. So pretty cool, and I'm obsessed with this sunscreen. I've been wearing it all summer long. This is the Beige Tint, which I like because it does, as you can see, give me some color. So this SPF does come in 2 shades for the tinted options. This is the lighter one. They have bronze and they have beige. I could even use the bronze to contour. It does look beautiful. And there's also a translucent shade, so if you don't want a tint, you can always go with the translucent option. And this is the SPF I find myself reaching for because it does offer that high complete coverage. So especially if I'm going on a run, I'll make sure to wear the sunscreen because I'm most confident this is what's going to protect my skin at the highest level. So for working out, it's a great one. And I'll typically go for the translucent if I'm gonna be sweating. I was just planning on doing skincare, and then I figured, hey, let's just go for the full thing instead of doing it off camera. I'm gonna show you guys everything, obviously. I'll probably film some TikToks today, so just gonna add a little bit of, I'd say it's like fake makeup. It's skincare makeup, which I think is the best kind of makeup. This is the Colorscience Total Eye SPF 35. This is a holy grail product for me. I would like to make my own version of a concealer with SPF one day, I think, because the eyes are an area I'm very passionate about protecting with SPF, just like the lips. Those are two areas I did not address when I was young. You know how it is when you're young. All I cared about was boys, going to the beach, and getting tan, sadly, and going to fraternity parties. I was not thinking about SPF on my eyeballs, eyelids, or my lips, and I should have. SPF over frat parties any day. That is the advice I would give to my younger self. This really is an amazing product because of how brightening it is, and I might even add more. When I first started using this, I used to do the tiniest dab, and now it's like never enough. I like to set my skin with the Is Clinical Perfect Tint powder. This is definitely one of my holy grail items because it's such a great final product or final step in your routine, whether you are dry or oily. And my lifelong issue with setting powders has been finding one that works with my skin type. I always felt kind of left out of the setting powder game because my skin's, I'd say it's combo, but anytime I touched my skin with a powder, it was like instant dryness, instant flaking, just looked so much worse than if I were to not use it. So finding this product has been a dream because it's such a hydrating powder, which sounds kind of contradictory, but this powder actually contains glycerin, which is a fantastic hydrating ingredient. So it's not like your run-of-the-mill powder that's gonna look dry and cakey and bad. It looks beautiful. It really just refines the skin. I will even just use this without a tint underneath, and it kind of just perfects and adds a little filter to the skin. It is beautiful, and at the same time you're getting all physical SPF 40, and this has been my go-to for touch-ups during the summer. While I'm traveling, I can just reach in my bag and reapply, which has been very nice during COVID. One of my favorite things about this very innovative product is the brush head actually comes off, and I've never seen this design in a product, and this has been one of the reasons I haven't messed around with SPF powders, because I'm just thinking of this brush that I could never fully clean. So I love that this detaches, and then you can wash it with your face wash or a fragrance-free shampoo, and you're good. Let it dry, and then you can reattach it and you have a clean brush. So something I've been into lately is not wearing a strong brow tint or mascara, because I think it can look sometimes more chic to not, and just to keep that area really light. So I've been loving treating my lashes and brows with a serum when I can. I'm very picky about lash and brow serums. If you don't know my whole spiel, basically in my early 20s, I was dealing with a lot of damage around my eye area that my dermatologist pointed out, and essentially these lash serums were dissolving the fat around my eye and just leading to a very dark sunken in effect. I think the problems with lash and brow serums is a lot more prevalent than the industry has let on. So I never use or recommend lash or brow serums that contain hormone mimicking ingredients. These are by LashFood. They are botanically based, and they're also clinically proven. So I'm just absolutely obsessed, and I don't get any stinging or irritation from using them. And my little hack, instead of using like a clear mascara, is to just use these, and then I like to just brush up my lashes and brush up my brows. and it's just a very clean look while you are treating your lashes and brows. All right, guys, that is it for my full Pamper Saturday morning routine. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I put up a little poll and asked if you guys wanted to see my morning or my nighttime routine, and it was like overwhelmingly like 80% nighttime routine. I didn't see until I filmed this, so I'm gonna make sure to do a nighttime routine as well. That will be my next video, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Let me know what you guys thought, or feel free to get in touch if you want to purchase any of the products I used today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.